Hello, everybody. My name is Nino Sapina. I'm the co-founder of Realcast, a company who created Insurrection 1944, which is an experience in mixed reality that is in the Museum of the Liberation of Paris. And we work that with a Paris Museum organization that is managing 14 museums in Paris. I will tell a little bit about our work and how we created this experience. So, as you know, Liberation of Paris happened in August 25th, 1944. These images are well known from the liberation, from the Champs-Élysées, or be in the front of the Notre Dame, where you can see the Allied troops, so you can see Charles de Gaulle, the liberators in Paris. So very famous pictures that most of the people know. On the Denfert Square was also a very important place in Paris, and there was a really road through which Allied troops arrived in Paris. But what less people know is that under this square, many things happened before the liberation. So this is the Museum of the Liberation of Paris that is on the Denfert Square, and that has been opened in 2019 for the 75th anniversary of the liberation. Under this museum, you can see the stairs that are leading 20 meters under the ground to the shelter that was built between the two world wars for the populations in case of bombardments. Today, of course, this place is completely empty, and it's really hard to imagine what happened in this location. These are the images from the archive video that we have reached, and where we can see what happened in this shelter before the liberation. So you can see the French resistance organizing their work and communicating with different troops in Paris, in France, with allies. You can see the phone central, you can see the headquarters. You will also meet Colonel Raul, who was the leader of the French resistance. And all this place, thanks to this video, we know what happened there. So we were able to use this image as inspiration for the experience that we have built. So today, you can see people walking with the HoloLens devices in these corridors. And thanks to this amazing technology, they can see the holograms of the resistance. They can see what happens in each of these rooms, and they can even have a chance to interact with them in a very natural manner. I will let you see the movie about this experience, so you can imagine, you can see better what is happening underground.
Pendant les heures historiques de l'insurrection, sous terre, en pleine capitale, sous les profondes catacombes, le colonel Roll.
Il permet aux visiteurs vraiment de rencontrer les résistants de l'époque et donc de vivre ces moments comme s'ils vivaient en 1944.
Notre sol, né de notre chair, de notre sang et de nos larmes, les forces françaises de l'intérieur qui libérèrent Paris sont devenues...
Muy interesante.
Ça devient un atout majeur pour le musée. On inscrit définitivement ce dispositif sur du pérenne. C'est une première en France.
So it's a very short excerpt, but it gives you a glimpse about the experience that you definitely should come and try yourself. So the concept of the experience is that to be part of this time, take a role as a journalist who is visiting this shelter and who interviews the resistance and has to write an article about what's going on and how the Paris will be liberated, and how to collaborate with those resistance members that are organizing. So it was opened, as I said, on the 75th anniversary of Liberation of Paris, and we decided with the Paris Musée to have quite a long session of 25 minutes, where you can have a chance to meet all this location in different rooms and have in-depth relationship and interaction with the resistance. So they have 20 HoloLens that are used for these experiences. This is a photo from the experience where you can meet Colonel Raul, who was inspired by the famous photo of him phoning with the other resistance in Paris. And you as a journalist, you will take a picture with the HoloLens and you will see the real archive picture coming out. And you can see that you are in a real location. You can see the inscriptions on the wall that are the same as you were there at the time. So as a journalist, you have your notebook where you can write information for your article, which means that you are really completely immersed into your role and you have to do things to understand what's going on. This shelter, you can see the plan. There are different rooms. Each room has a specific function. Like I said, phone central, corner roll office, secretary office, headquarters, and we build a system where the visitors are led by the virtual guide to different rooms. In each of these rooms, they do something. We also build a system that the paths are not the same, which means that there are multiple paths, so you can visit those locations in different order. You are kind of free, but at the same time, you are following the scenario through all these locations in different orders. Here are the press from the time that was from the archives. And you as a journalist, you can select different articles and give them to the secretary, and then the secretary will answer and show on the map where the allies are coming or the facts related to the article that you have just selected on the wall. About the creative process, we used video game technology where we had full 3D scanning of the real actors that we chosen. So of course they were dressed in the habits of the time, and we did also motion capture to capture all their movements, walking, hands, gestures, everything that's as natural as possible. And also we kept their face performance, which means that we capture them speaking, and we added that to the experience. So in the front, in the end, you find the real actor, like in real size, that can talk to you and look at you and follow you like you were with him. As I said, this virtual guide, it's this soldier, the first one. So it's a character that we invented that help the user to go through the whole experience, and is a kind of leading you, giving you a little anecdote while you're walking with him through the corridors, and then leading you to each room, and then in each room you do some specific interaction with other characters. So these are the accessories that are also modeled or scanned in 3D that are part of the experience. So of course everything is very checked in terms of historical validity with the historians from the museum. This is a session of the 3D scan in photogrammetry. So each actor went through this process, and several times even for some, to find really the best result to be integrated into the experience. So this experience was our most ambitious at the time, and we really put everything we know to make it best possible. It was quite short development time because we spent 6 months, which is not a lot regarding the duration and the quantity of content and interaction. But thanks to this, we won 2 prizes, one in France, Satis Grand Prix Augmented Reality, and in Germany, in Europa Park, we won an Aurea Award in January this year. Also, we developed a version for HoloLens 2, knowing that HoloLens 2 brings a whole set of new functionalities, like a better visual angle, much better comfort, and also a very important feature with the hand gestures, where you can use your hands with no controllers and interact with virtual objects in a very natural manner. So the visitor doesn't have to learn new gestures. It's very automatic and easy to get into the experience. It's important to say that this exhibit is permanent, that just shows the value of this kind of experience in the longer term for a museum, and for a new way to attract the audience. So there are a lot of feedbacks. Museum and Parisian are very happy about the outcome of this experience. They say they've never had any digital support with that much positive feedbacks. So there are those feedbacks are collected either at the end of the experience, on the book, or through the internet. We can see that there is a lot of young audience that came, that thanks to the experience, to the museum, that maybe doesn't attract immediately young audience. But we also see that there are also elderly people, who are really having no difficulties at all to get into this new technology and then benefit and see the things. So the elderly people are really very much appreciating the whole setup and the experience as well. So about us, so we are a company 3 years old. We are coming from video games. Diego, my co-founder, and myself worked at Ubisoft. We were producers and lead programmers. This is a team also of young video game professionals. We have offices in Paris, and also we opened office in San Francisco. And about since 2 years, we built several experiences in the cultural area. We're also working for enterprises, and we have more than 50,000 end users, which is quite a lot for this kind of technology. And we really have a very high satisfaction rate that lead us to believe that this is just the beginning of this kind of technologies, and there is a huge potential. You can see here are some partners like Microsoft, who is really pushing hard in these technologies and important for us. We're also part of Oculus Business program, and you can see other partners, clients or other partners who help us in our early years. So thank you for your attention, and please give us your feedbacks or questions if you have after the presentation. Thank you.